just inside the doorway.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Many days we go into overdrive. Thank you for joining us. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Here's the headline at Infowars.com. It just went live. Let's send Ann Coulter to Fukushima. I was going to play the clip, but we're almost out of time. I may play it later and tease Tarpley, a big nuclear power fan. But Human Events has the headline, a glowing report on radiation by Ann Coulter. Anyone exposed to excess radiation from the nuclear power plants is now probably much less likely to get cancer. That's, I guess her thought is you aim it directly at a cancer, it hurts that cell, that group of abnormal cells. But general radiation to the whole body in every major study is, I mean, that's not even debated. It massively increases cancer. I mean, even our own government estimates 1 million deaths in the 25 years associated with Chernobyl. But, I mean, this is just brazen propaganda saying the radiation is good for you, Wayne-Madsen.
Well, you know, Ann Coulter, have you noticed she hasn't really been on the news recently? So she had to say, he, whatever that is, had to say something to get back into the news cycle. And the more outrageous, of course, that's what the Fox News are all about. The more outrageous, the better.
Well, I don't like to interrupt in the time we've got. I don't like to be mean about how somebody looks because, I mean, I'm not the most beautiful person on the planet. But at the 2004 Republican convention, I was going in the front entrance and waiting for some people and saw her walking in, and I was actually scared. I mean, no, I'm not joking. I was repulsed because she's so anorexic. You don't see it on TV because it adds weight. That she was having trouble walking, and she looked like a concentration camp victim, like a skull with skin on it, painted with lipstick, and she was actually toddling in like a undead. No, I was like, ugh. I mean, my actual, I've never run into anybody that made me go and actually take a breath in.
Yeah, well, I maybe that's if she's so emaciated. We think that's an Adam's apple, maybe her thorax. I don't know, but the or larynx. But I just don't understand people. You know, the broadcaster is supposed to serve the common interest, the public good, and that's definitely not. That doesn't serve any public good. But one thing I'm hearing from people in Japan is it's no good to send money because they have money, they can't buy anything with it. So what they have, nothing off the shelves now in Tokyo and Yokohama, the ramen noodles. So if anybody has friends, family, colleagues over there, this, small packages, so it's not held up in customs, those ramen noodles, powdered milk, AAA, AA batteries. This is what they're out of, and this is what they're in. This is the third largest economy in the world. China, of course, just surpassed them as the second largest. But this is what can happen to an infrastructure when they have a triple disaster like they've experienced.
In closing, Wayne, give us your summation of how bad the disaster really is, the radiation cover-up, and the fact that they're saying this could go on for weeks or months. Headlines about the relief not going well, reactors still smoking, burning, hundreds of thousands of fuel rods, and it seems to be now kind of just going out of the news.
Well, this is what I understand. The chief cabinet secretary, Adama, he cut his teeth politically as an anti-nuclear activist. So what I'm hearing is that there are people in TEPCO and the Nuclear Oversight Agency who don't want to tell him a lot of what's going on because they're afraid he's going to amplify it and make it sound much, it is worse than what they're saying, but they don't necessarily trust him, and that's why he's not getting the full picture, and he's the public face of the Japanese government at all these news conferences. So there is a willful attempt by the TEPCO and the nuclear oversight people in Japan to keep critical information, the worst case information from members of the government, including the chief cabinet secretary.
Well, it's not a good sign when the U.S. military, U.S. embassies, French, German, pull out, when foreign airlines won't fly into Tokyo, when the fleet raced away last Monday, when Fukushima 3 blew up, and now when the head of the plant itself breaks down and cries and says, basically, I can't lie to you, this radiation is going to kill people. That shows you what's really happening.
Right, and we have to be worried here about the radiation that's coming over the West Coast, because we know that based on what we saw with the Gulf oil disaster, how our own government downplays the health effects of these natural disasters. The other thing I want to add quickly is I'm afraid we may see the international bankers, these vampires, vultures, and vermin now try to play this up as much as they can to try to just put Japan, the third largest economy in the world, under their firm control.
Meanwhile, a headline up at Drudge, also on Infowars.com. White House works quietly to squelch the photos. They've already released photos of them killing kids. So, man, Wayne Madsen, thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with Dr. Tarpley.